And how do you think and plan, or yeah, how do you think and plan now for the future based on everything that you've learned and experienced now? And I mean, personally, because
Mm.
the larger the organization, the more it gets involved with your personal life.
Oh, this is
So
my personal life.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's there's no lines.
Yeah. So
But
how do you think about the future now? What expectations do you have? What lessons? What goes through your mind now when trying to predict what's going to happen next in order to be as prepared as you possibly can for that scenario, which is unlikely we'll ever be fully prepared, but we do our best.
right. I mean, for the brand specifically, we're in a world where um, it's all digitally motivated. It's that's where it's going. That's where it has been. Um, and really focusing for us and getting the little attention span that people have these days to really making an impact and getting in front of them to show what we have to offer. There's so much competition. There's so much volume, product choices that people have to make, and it's only getting more and more. And the question I have every day is how do we stay relevant, and how do we how do we sustain a business and still keep that foundation going?
Right.
Because I've lost that foundation several times throughout. So I've learned the hard way, but um, I've learned to now focus on that and expand on
Right.
that. Sorry. Um, so um, so like I said, digital is something that I didn't really focus on. I've always focused on building the brand, having the best image it can, being associating with the right partners, the right sourcing, uh, and keeping it to the highest level. And that was the first 10 years of building the brand and making that concentrate so strong. So when it's time to really focus on the business, I have legs to stand on, and
Mm,
it's not just like an ecom brand that just pops up one day
yeah,
and
of
just starts pushing generic stuff that
course.
there's no soul, like you said,
Yeah. Or
to the
like building
product.
a house on quicksand.
Exactly.
Mm,
So the idea is to have the recognition that um, all the work that I've done to build the brand um, can have validity to the end consumers. This is a brand that did not just pop up. Did not just have a. It's not like a here today, gone tomorrow.
mm,
I've built stores. I've built distribution channels. I have quality products. I stand behind everything we put out. Um, and and but we are now stepping into a world where direct to consumer, online, social is the future. And as much as I don't like playing that game, I have to. I'm
mm.
forced to. And and that's where I believe the efforts are going
Right.
forward for.
Interesting. So having the right foundations in order to then start asking yourself the question of what relevancy looks like. In order for you to be asking yourself that question in the first place, you need to make sure you have the right foundation first, and then continuously ask yourself, what is relevant? How can we how can we keep the brand up to date? And it
Yeah.
mostly is by, I'm guessing, looking at the overall environment and trying to get a grasp on the new important channels they're developing
Right. And I think
and the
also,
relationship with the brand and obviously the market itself.
right, right. Also, using getting smarter about your data, your analytics, um, what's really working, what worked in the past, what didn't work. I used to really not pay attention and just, put out
Wing
what I
it.
felt
Yeah.
right. Now it's much more imperative that I do focus on that. I do find ways to build on what worked and what does work, and continue the development of what I put out based on that data. And that's more of the business mindset, that the business mindset is leading the direction, and then the creative input comes after.
The business mindset shows you the place and the route you need to take on the map forward, but creativity is the one thing that's fueling everything. It's fueling the progress.
Yes.
Guess that could be a good analogy.